I always took the last bus. Not because I liked it, because it was the only one that still ran after my shift ended. Midnight on the dot. Same route number. Same stop. Same driver. People talk about empty buses at night like they're peaceful, but they're not. They feel unfinished, like you're moving through a city that's already stopped paying attention to you. I worked nights at a warehouse on the edge of town. No windows, no clocks you could trust, just fluorescent lights and machines repeating the same movements until you stopped noticing time altogether. By the time I clocked out, my body felt hollow, not tired, emptied. The bus stop was a short walk down a quiet road, one streetlight that never stayed fully bright, flickering like it was unsure whether it was worth the effort. No houses, no noise, just asphalt and weeds. The bus always arrived exactly on time. That should have bothered me more than it did. The driver never spoke. Not when I boarded. Not when I tapped my card. Not even when I said evening, out of habit. He wasn't rude. He just didn't acknowledge me at all. He sat perfectly upright, hands placed evenly on the wheel, eyes forward. Not tense, not relaxed, just fixed, like someone who'd been doing the same thing for so long that movement had become optional. The bus was always empty, every seat, every night. At first, I told myself it made sense. Late routes get quiet. People drive. People sleep. Eventually, you stop questioning the things that make your life easier. Routine has a way of dulling suspicion. About 2 weeks in, I noticed we weren't stopping as often. At first, it was subtle. A missed stop here, a longer stretch of road there. I blamed myself. Exhaustion plays tricks on memory. But then entire sections of the route disappeared. We passed streets I recognized without slowing down. The doors stayed closed. The driver didn't react. Instead, the bus began stopping at places that didn't look like stops at all. No signs. No shelters. No markings. Just darkness at the edge of the road. The doors would open. The bus would wait. No one got on. Then the doors would close and we'd continue. I checked the route map online the next day. It hadn't changed. By the third week, I stopped sitting near the windows. Not because of what was outside, but because of the reflections. Sometimes, when the bus passed under a streetlight, I'd catch my reflection in the glass. It looked behind, not distorted, not wrong, just tired in a deeper way than I felt. Like I was seeing myself after something I hadn't reached yet. I moved to the aisle seat after that. There was something else I hadn't told anyone. I used to take this bus years ago, back when my life had a direction that wasn't just next shift. Before the warehouse, before nights blurred together, before I learned how easy it was to postpone things that mattered by telling myself I'd deal with them later. My father used to call me after work, not for long conversations, just to check in. I always meant to call him back properly, on my day off, when I wasn't so tired. There was always another shift first. When he died, I felt less grief than I expected, mostly guilt, the quiet kind that doesn't hurt until you're alone long enough to hear it. One night, the bus slowed down somewhere unfamiliar. Not abruptly, gradually, carefully. There was no sign, no street light, just a narrow stretch of road bordered by trees that leaned inward, like they'd been growing that way deliberately. The doors opened. I stood up immediately. "This isn't a stop," I said. "There's nothing here." The driver didn't turn around. "There usually isn't," he replied. His voice was calm, practiced. "This isn't on the route," I said. "It was," he said, "just not for you." The bus stayed still. I looked outside again, trying to place the road. It felt familiar in a way I didn't trust, not like memory, but like repetition, like somewhere I'd passed through too many times without noticing. "You don't have to get off," the driver added. "Most people don't the first time." My chest tightened. "How many times?" I asked. He glanced at me through the mirror. "You stopped counting." I looked at the empty seats. For the first time, they didn't feel empty. Not occupied, just worn. Like furniture that had supported weight for years without ever being claimed. "I go home after work," I said. "I always have." The driver was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "You get on." The doors remained open. Cold air drifted in slowly, without urgency. I thought about my father then. Not the hospital, not the calls I hadn't returned. Just the moment years ago when I realized I was waiting for my life to slow down before I started living it again. I was still waiting. "That's why this route still runs," the driver said softly. "Some people never finish the journey." I don't remember stepping off the bus. I remember the doors closing. I remember the headlights pulling away, draining light from the road in front of me. And I remember standing alone, trying to understand how long I'd been getting on that bus without ever arriving anywhere. Because I finally understood. The bus didn't take me somewhere important. It took me to where I stopped moving forward. And once you reach the end of that route, there isn't another one waiting.